Hey, I'm Chaotic Kenga, and today we're going to be talking about rare trading cards, and I have something really cool to show you at the end of this video. When we're talking about the rarest trading cards in the world, people would probably think of cards like the One Ring from Magic the Gathering, an intentionally printed one of one that was eventually purchased by Post Malone for millions of dollars. Others might point to Tyler the Great Warrior, one of one kind Yu-Gi-Oh card created by Make-A-Wish Foundation. Today I want to talk about a card that might be one of the greatest holy grails in the chaotic trading card game specifically. I'm really excited, I can't wait to show you, so please stay tuned for that. What is a holy grail? Before we talk about chaotic, we need to understand the simple question: what makes a holy grail trading card? For some collectors, it's age, the first cards to ever be printed. For others, it's historical significance. Sometimes it's a championship prize card. Sometimes it's a printing error. And sometimes it's a true one of one. Modern trading card game companies, as well as regular companies, create serialized cards and products. You'll see things numbered as 1 of 10, maybe 1 of 5, 1 of 25, 1 of 1, 1 of 100, 1 of 1,000. And collectors love to collect them because they combine scarcity with exclusivity. If only one exists, ownership becomes something almost impossible to replicate, but some cards become legendary for reasons beyond serialization. Some cards become pieces of hobby TCG history. For example, the One Ring. The One Ring, most famous examples happened in 2023. Magic the Gathering released a special version of the One Ring, not a rare version, not a limited version, a literal one of one version. Only a single copy was ever printed. The hunt became worldwide news as collectors, stores, investors, and fans searched for what was instantly one of the most desirable cards ever created. Eventually, the card was found and sold to musician and singer Post Malone for approximately $2.6 million, and honestly, I love that outcome. I've always liked Post Malone. He's a pretty cool singer and genuinely seems passionate about the trading cards and collecting the hobby, so it's cool to see the card of that significance end up with someone who truly appreciates the card. So side note for all you Post Malone fans out there, in 2021 Magic the Gathering made a Post Malone promo card, and that's really cool to see. That a musician can have as much of an impact on Magic the Gathering as Post Malone, that they are willing to give and create a promo card based on Post Malone. That's really cool. A very iconic TCG history right there, and yeah, it's just a really cool story, I guess. So yeah, just another fact that I didn't know. I just figured that out just now. So yeah, on to the video. Tyler the Great Warrior. But long before serialized one-of-ones became common, there was another legendary card, Tyler the Great Warrior. For many Yu-Gi-Oh collectors, this isn't just one of the rarest cards ever printed, it's one of the most meaningful. The card was created through Make-A-Wish Foundation for a young fan named Tyler Gressel. Originally, Tyler wanted a Porsche,
and got to go home with it.
They contacted me, and first thing I wanted was a Porsche, but I wasn't old enough. So they said, if you were 16, yeah, sure, we'd make it happen, but because you can't drive, you can't have one. So
the problem was he wasn't old enough to drive one, so instead he asked for something even more special: his own Yu-Gi-Oh card. At the time, Tyler was a huge fan of both Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball Z, and through Make-A-Wish Foundation he was flown out and given the experience most fans could only dream of. During that era, names like Al Khan, Dan Green, and Eric Stewart helped bring Yu-Gi-Oh to life for millions of fans through 4Kids Entertainment. The result was Tyler the Great Warrior, the true one-of-one card, not for profit, not created as a marketing stunt, created to make one kid's dream come true. After many years of Tyler holding onto the card, he would make the decision to get it graded through Beckett. The card came back a 7, and on April 29th, 2023, the card was sold via eBay auction. The card sold for $311,000 USD, setting a record for the most expensive Yu-Gi-Oh card ever sold. The card will definitely go down in history as one of the most iconic Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever created, and certainly one of the most meaningful and iconic stories ever. And that's a huge reason why collectors still consider it one of the greatest holy grails in trading card history. But what if a card was never meant to be unique? Here is where Chaotic is a bit different. The One Ring was designed to be unique, Tyler the Great Warrior was designed to be unique, but my Bareth Beyond here wasn't. To understand why this card is so potentially special, you first need to understand how Chaotic works. Unlike almost every other trading card game, Chaotic cards feature randomized stat variables. When a card was printed, the stats fluctuated across courage, power, wisdom, speed, and energy, and those values followed a statistical bell curve, meaning average numbers were common while minimum and maximum numbers became increasingly rare. Getting a max roll in one category was already kinda difficult. Getting maximum values across all 5 categories simultaneously was pretty unheard of. But that's only the first hurdle. This specific card is a ripple foil, and ripple foils feature a distinctive wavy holographic pattern exclusive to the first edition alpha print run of Dawn of Perem, Chaotic's first ever set. The foil pattern was permanently discontinued after that print run, which means the population was frozen forever. No additional copies could ever be created, and on top of that, ripple foils were only available on super rare and ultra rare cards. Because Dawn of Perem had a small pool, there were only 17 creatures that could theoretically exist as an alpha ripple foil 5 max card. That's it. Just 17 possibilities. Excluding other Dawn of Perem promos like Heptad, the Hawaii Trade Conference promo, Raimusa, and Antidion. And every one of them would require an incredibly unlikely perfect stat roll. This is my Ripple Foil Bareth Beyond. It is from the first set, first print run of Dawn of Perem. It features maximum stats across all 5 categories, and is attached to one of the most iconic creatures in Chaotic history. Within the high-end Chaotic community, stats matter quite a lot. Competitive players value strong stat lines, and collectors place enormous premiums on perfect stats. As of right now, only 2 Ripple Foil 5 max cards are publicly known, my Bareth Beyond, and another is owned by longtime collector Chaotic Rudd. Rudd's card is an Antidion Ripple Foil 5 max promo.
All 5 stats are at the maximum possible value. This is so rare that when a 5 max card is discovered, it's likely the only one in the world. Obviously there's no guarantee of that, but nearly every 5 max card that I've ever seen has been the only one of that specific creature that has ever come to light.
Which raises an interesting discussion personally by me. Could a promo version actually be rarer? I'd genuinely love to sit down with Rudd one day and hear his thoughts, because once you get into the cards this rare, there aren't always definitive answers. Collectors are still uncovering pieces of this really interesting puzzle. That's what makes Chaotic so fascinating. Unlike official serialized cards, there is no master registry. There is no checklist confirming exactly what exists. There is no database proving whether another copy is hiding in a forgotten collection somewhere. Maybe a Ripple Foil Maxor is still out there. Maybe someone has a perfect Chaos and doesn't even realize they own it. Maybe another Bareth Beyond exists, waiting to be discovered. Or maybe these cards are truly accidental one-of-ones, born from pure mathematical luck. The packs are gone, the print runs are locked forever, but the search continues. And that's why, for me, cards like this are as every bit fascinating as the biggest holy grails in the hobby. Because I could open this Dawn of Perem pack right now, and there could very well be a 5 max Ripple Foil Maxor in here, or maybe there isn't. But that's really cool to wonder. That's why collectors still keep opening up Dawn of Perem, and that is also why Dawn of Perem is going up in price. It is really cool to see that the hunt still continues for these 5 maxes, and that a holy grail could be emerged through a pack that you open. And that's why, for me, cards like this are every bit as fascinating as the biggest holy grails in the hobby. Not because they were intentionally created to be unique, but because rarity emerged naturally through impossible odds. So what do you think? Does an accidental one-of-one feel cooler than a traditional serialized one-of-one? And if a 5 max Ripple Foil Maxor or Chaos surfaced tomorrow, where would you rank it among the greatest Chaotic discoveries of all time? Let me know what you think in the comments. I have been Chaotic Kanga, and as always, we are chaotic.